So, I just got done editing the conversation part of the podcast that I did with Taj when I went to San Diego. And you know what? I was listening back to it as I'm editing it. Just like melting at like all the parts of the conversation that we had. It was so fun. The second half, so I did the first half over the weekend, and then I finished the second half yesterday, because it's 200 minutes long. That's over 3 hours. It's like 3.5 hours or something. So I cut it up into two, and last night I was doing the second half of it, and I was just like, I forgot all the things that we talked about. I forgot how fun like the conversation was, because we had just met in person for the first time, and I'm like, first of all, the trip up there was its own experience, but I was like, I had to like compartmentalize that and put it away, because I'm like, I'm getting there and I'm doing this, and nothing's gonna stop me, no matter what the trip happened or whatever. And I was like communicating on the way up there. I was like, shit, like, you know, I had this thing go on with my car, like I'm gonna be running a little bit late, and because she was driving down to San Diego from where she lives, a couple hours away. And so I was trying to be respectful of her time and all the effort that she had to do just to get there. But I get there, and then, you know, obviously all my shit's in the car, and it's an Airbnb. Luckily, I'm able to get in pretty easily. Sometimes, you know, those situations can have like little snags, but it was pretty easy. And then she's like, do you want me to help you get your stuff out? I was like, she had like these cute little like heel sandals on and a dress, and I was like, sit down, like it's fine, I got it. I could just get the stuff that we need, you know, the equipment, the mics and stuff for the podcast, and I'll get the rest of the shit later. And she's like, well, you might as well like let me help you while you got somebody here. I was like, okay, because I'm trying to like learn to receive more, you know, especially I know like receiving gifts is a thing. I'm getting there. Receiving things, but like receiving help or like asking for help, I'm like, oh. I was like, you know what? I would love that. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And so she did. And let me tell you, like, it was a Prius, so it's like a small car, but there was no room for anybody else but me and all my shit in the car. Like I brought all my journals. I need options. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna wear until minutes before I decide what I'm gonna wear. So like, I gotta take options. I just need to know. I need to feel it out. And you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just showing up there, divine invitation. And so she helps me get everything out of the car. And I brought her like a little gift, just a little thank you, like offering for just everything, really, like all of it, like just her being her, just her offering to the world, and the school, her like all of it, and just also for like showing up there, you know what I mean? And like that. So we sit down, we record. I just kind of center real quick. I do some sound healing. We're talking the whole time, like I'm kind of like getting settled and bringing stuff in, and then setting up the mics. She's helping me with like the phone stand to hold like the camera or whatever. And the same exact person that I was expecting to meet, she's just her, you know what I mean? And we just show up, and like you could tell that there was like a newness to just our energies being in the same presence, like physical room, because we'd never met. But also for me, it felt like just super chill and comfortable, because I've known her virtually, and like you kind of get a flavor of people's energy that way, you know what I mean? And so we were talking before it started. We talked for 3.5 hours in the conversation in the podcast. And then we went to go get tacos afterwards, and we were probably there for like an hour or two doing that, talking some more. And like, this is somebody who like, I can just hang out with her, like, and just talk, literally, like it would just be endless. And it was just so fun. And even like, especially the second half of the conversation, I think we just got more comfortable. It felt less, at first, you know, like when you first meet somebody, it feels a little bit formal, a little bit like just a little bit more like you're just kind of like easing into just the energies being together and just like meeting each other and whatever it is. And so it kind of like, even as like I was looking at it back, like you could see like the gradual like opening up throughout the conversation, especially because it was such a long duration, which I love. It's so great. It's like gold. But yeah, so I didn't remember what parts of the conversation were recorded in the podcast and what parts on the conversation we had before and after when we were hanging out. And I was just like, because like I was on the trip, and then after that, like I was like just in my blissful ocean mode for the next 3 days of just like kind of going where the wind takes me, sitting in heart space with God and with spirit, listening. So much alchemization, me and the ocean, like all of that. Like I didn't really get a chance to process what just happened. And I was like editing it back and like just watching it and just like laughing again and like just like taking in all like the insights and everything that she was just like dropping all these gems, and just how fun the conversation was and what we talked about, and like it was just so cool. But like I didn't really get a chance to like really take in that just really happened. Like holy shit, I just met Taj, who's like legit has been one of my spiritual mentors and teachers really since the moment I found her, honestly. And her work and just her existence in herself first, like her devotion to herself first, and then sharing that with the world has meant so much to me personally, and also as a mother, because like, as you know, like that's so important to me. And so I was just like melting at the conversation, like just so grateful, like, oh my God, that's crazy that I was able to experience this moment in this conversation and meeting her. You know, like I was trying not to fangirl when I got there because obviously like I'm a huge fan, but I was like, I got work to get done. Like pull it together, Vanessa. You know what I mean? We don't got time for all this. But it was just so like chill and cool and so fun. And it was just fun editing it. And it took, you know, hours to like go back and edit because I had to like line up the different angles of the visuals and then the audio from the mics, and then like do the things where like you're like zooming in and out from like the different angles. And it was just so cool. And then I'm taking notes as I'm editing it, just so I know where to go back and like find the clip. So like there was like something that she said that I wanted to go back and like do a clip of potentially. I jot down the time so that I know where it is, because I learned through editing other podcasts that that's the most efficient way to go, is while you're editing it to take the notes so you know when to go back and find the clips, so you don't have to go back blindly and like through a 3+ hour conversation and find them all. So I took 8 pages of notes. I was expecting it to be 4 pages. First I was expecting it to be 2, but I was like, okay, this is long. Probably be about 4 pages in my journal. 8 pages later, we're done, and I was like, damn, yeah, that's about right. That's about the amount of like soundbite gems, mic drop moments that you would expect to have in a conversation with somebody like her. And it was just so fun. Like I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful for the experience in itself. Like literally, even if I didn't share this with anybody, like it's just such a gift already that like I got to meet her and I got to really hold space for her story, but also like she gifted me so much in that interaction. I don't even know if she knows, but like I'm still processing it. So like I'm feeling it, you know what I mean? And it was just so cool. And like, even if nothing else comes of this, like even if, God forbid, like something happened to it and like it just evaporated into thin air, still like I've been like given such a gift by that interaction and that experience with her, and that like conversation and everything, that like even more truth that you embody, and just like being in her presence. I feel like, you know what I mean, like just it was just so cool. It felt almost like part of the divine invitation that I was there. And like when I got the divine invitation, that wasn't even a possibility in my head. I wasn't even thinking at all about like that. And it came up later, and Spirit kind of nudged me to ask her, and I was so hesitant. I was like, God, I don't think it's time. Like, are you sure? I was like, okay, here you go. And even she was like, she messaged me the other day, and she's like, I couldn't really understand what my spirit team was telling me to do the podcast with you, because she's like, I've never done a podcast before. People ask me all the time, and I've never done one. And she went into that, and I thought that was really beautiful what she said. And I was honestly the same way. I was like, I was surprised I had the audacity to ask you right now. I just felt like eventually that would have been a thing, you know what I mean? Like, school just started a few months ago. Like, we hang out there as a community and like all that, but like, I don't know. I just listened and I followed, and apparently she listened and she followed, and it turned out to be such a beautiful conversation. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. So I'll probably drop that episode. I'm supposed to hike Camelback this weekend, which I'll probably do Saturday, and I want to edit some clips before I drop it, but this weekend. So either Saturday or Sunday, I'll publish it and post it and all that. And you're welcome, because it's such a fun, beautiful conversation. I was so honored to be able to hold space for her story. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like she probably doesn't get to be seen in that way a lot, especially publicly, maybe in like her own relationships, but like a lot of times people don't get that opportunity. And I just like, because she's such an inspirational and just beautiful soul, like those are the kind of stories that I want to hold space for and give recognition to, give them their flowers while they're here. And you know, as the platform grows, more people will be able to witness her and her story, so whatever it is. But yeah, I'm just like in like creative and experiential bliss. Like, I'm just like, that was so cool. Thank you, God. Like, I'm so grateful. Okay, bye.